everybody, and welcome to the very first official video for the Undiscovered Entrepreneur. And my name is Jesse, but everybody calls me DJ Scoob because I could go like this. All right, so I'm sure you're wondering why the heck I'm doing all this. So I'm going to tell you. So I have another podcast that I do on top of this video, and I kind of couple them together to kind of give you a different way to kind of absorb what I'm doing here and maybe learn something a little different and new. It's really important for me to get the information out there to any amount of form possible. That way you can really learn something, and I really do hope you learn something from this. Now, this all specifically is for brand new entrepreneurs. So these are all people that are less than a year in their business. They're all brand new, trying new discoveries and trying to figure things out. And I'm interviewing these types of people mainly for you, because I'm hoping that you're actually also a brand new entrepreneur and can probably learn something from them, even though they're new and just kind of starting out. We all have experiences that we can share with each other to kind of learn from each other. So it's really important for me to have this done for you, because I myself, probably obvious, I'm brand new too, just getting started, humble beginnings. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have videos every week. Now we're going to couple them with my podcast. So we're going to have a podcast episode and then a video. So this first interview is actually with a young lady named Caddy. Now, Caddy is a organizer. She is a professional organizer. Very great information. She has a lot to go over, and she talks a lot about her family and her influences and things like that. So really my ultimate goal here is for you to learn. So let's watch this, and do me a favor and watch this all the way through, because I always have a special message and an insight about what we just watched at the very end. So thank you for watching, and we're going to go ahead and go from here. Thank you. Salutations, everybody. Congratulations to everybody, because this is my very first actual interview I'm doing with somebody right now. So I want to thank Angie for coming out. Hi, Angie. Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I got a very main question to ask you here.
Okay.
Are you a scuba believer?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. We have our very first scuba believer, everybody. All right. So Angie, she has a business. So what I'm going to do, and it hasn't been very long, because one of the main things that we have going on here is everybody that I talk to is actually going to be less than a year in their business and in their entrepreneur adventure. So Angie, I want you to tell us a little bit about how long you've actually been in the business and your entrepreneur adventure.
Well, not very long at all. April 19th. So a month and 2 days.
Wow.
April 19th is the day that I said, okay, I'm just going to do this, and started to get the wheels in motion.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So it hasn't been very long. It's like, we're going to do it, and then we're going to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
My friend of the family, she is helping me actually a little bit. Not friend of the family, she is family. She's brother's sister-in-law or boyfriend's sister-in-law, and she compares me to a cartoon image of the little babies where you hold them up and you see their feet running in midair. She says, that's me right now.
Like, oh my goodness, yeah. It's amazing how much energy you get all of a sudden when you actually start doing something so passionately.
Yes.
All right, so let me ask you this. What actually made you start your business? And tell me exactly what your business is.
Well, my business is architecturally organized, professional organizers. And as far as what made me do this, honestly, I don't know. As far as like inspiration, anything like that, I don't know. I've always loved organizing. When I was little, birthday presents, Christmas presents, I didn't have a job. So birthday presents, Christmas presents for my mother, was organizing things, taking out everything from in the kitchen cabinets and putting everything back the way that I thought that it would work well. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I live in New Jersey now. I had a roommate when I first moved here, and the first thing I did was take out everything out of the pantry and reorganized her pantry so it would be, just easier to access everything. It's something I've just always done.
So let me get this straight.
You had a roommate and they like left or something and they came back and the whole place was like organized to your specifications, right?
Not exactly, not the whole place, just the pantry. Just a couple shelves.
Well, it's like
Until she liked it and she's like, is there anything else? And we, I did a little, I think I did a couple little other things, but nothing huge or drastic.
all right. So like the cereals with the cereal and they're all in alphabetical order and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Nice. So how did we translate that into your actual business? I mean, what's the connection?
I'm not sure how to answer that. So, I mean, well, like I said, I've just always enjoyed organizing. It's just some people have a knack for making spaces work. We'll say that. And that is, some people don't have the knack. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something that some people aren't built with, or they try to do, but for whatever reason, it just never works for them. And that's where I would come in. I'd help them, sometimes it's too much stuff. Sometimes, you have to go through and really think, is this something that you use? Is this something that you need? Are you holding on to this because it has a sentimental value? Are you holding on to it because, you're never going to use it? You don't like it, but it was given to you and you feel guilty for throwing it out. You got to, speak with people, talk to people, and find out what their reasons are for things and help them develop a system that is going to be beneficial in their lives.
Well, I got to tell you something. I could probably use your talents in here because I got a little dinky space and a lot of stuff. So,
well, I have moved many, many, many times from studio apartments, one-bedroom apartments, sharing apartments, college apartment, dorm type rooms, and I have had itty-bitty spaces. And I won't lie, I have a lot of stuff.
Oh,
I have a lot of stuff, and I think that is what helped sculpt me into being an organizer, is making room, trying in my own life, making all my stuff fit.
All right. Okay, so let me ask you a little different question. Now, do you have an influence or somebody that you look up to that kind of keeps you moving, keeps you moving forward, that, that encourages you?
I mean, not really. I mean, well, okay. I don't want to say no because that's my dog sneezing. I don't want to say no because everybody in my life, my family, my friends, they're all behind me. They're, when I told my mom about it, I joked that she is my one man, I don't know what shout from the rooftops about me being a marketing person or something. Very supportive. She always has been all my life. So, but, motivation wise, my motivation is, in a sense, me, like happiness. Happiness is my motivation. Doing what makes me happy, bringing happiness to others. That's my motivation.
Well, bringing happiness to others is kind of what we do as entrepreneurs. We want to, make everybody happy around us, and when they're happy, we're happy, and that's kind of how it works. That's how it works for me, anyway. If I'm helping somebody else out, that makes me feel good about what I'm doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So let me ask you a little different question here. I know you're just getting started, and I understand that, but when you get to, I've made it. When you get to that, when do you know you're there? I mean, is it amount of money that you put together? Is it the amount of people that you help? When do you know you've made it?
That, I think, is a tricky question. Only for the fact I feel like, when I made it, I think that's going to be forever changing. Like right now, for when I made it, that would, me feeling like I made it is actually getting in a client base. Like I said, I'm brand new. I've done some bartering work. I've done some work for friends who are, they are paying me. So I greatly appreciate that, but it's somebody I know. Like, so for right now, when I made it is when I started getting a client base of people that I've never met and they're seeking me out. I'm going to be, woohoo, very excited on that. But when that time comes, most likely when I made it is going to change, when I made it, I work a day job. I have a job. This is something I'm doing on the side right now. Maybe then it's going to be when I don't have that job and this is the only thing I'm doing. That's when I made it. Or, hey, look, I can't do all this myself. I need to start hiring employees. That's when I made it. So I think it's going to be forever changing depending on what stage I'm at.
Yeah, that's really important to know when you get to that point. And that's something I've noticed about most entrepreneurs that I do talk to. They always move on to that next thing. Okay, I've made it to this. Okay, I'm here. Let's move on to this. And it just kind of keeps building and building and growing. And we're changing our goals and our outlook on things to just kind of keep moving. And that's actually a good thing, because that's really what inspires us to keep growing and keep doing what we do. All right, so I know, like I said, you've only been doing this for a little while, but if you actually just happen to come across somebody that's doing the same thing as you, the organization and the architecture kind of thing, is there any advice you'd give them before they get started, or is there anything you would actually tell them about what you do?
Well, as far as advice, it was Monday, April 19th. Like I said, I decided to do it. First thing I did was I went online and I tried to find organizers around me. And my first thought was maybe I would just, I could get, if somebody was hiring or anything. And I contacted a woman and she was very helpful. This is one thing I've learned in the organizing business. A lot of these other organizing professionals out there, you're not working against them. Everybody's working together, which is phenomenal. And the first thing that she told me, and that's the first thing I would tell them, check out NAPO, which is the National Association for Productivity and Organizing Professionals. And they have so much information on there. There's chapter groups that you can join. It was very helpful just reading what all is out there and seeing other people that are doing this. And again, very, very helpful.
Well, that's great. And that's something I've come across too, is at first, when I first wanted to do podcasting, and I'll even go back before that, when I wanted to start becoming an actual DJ and karaoke DJ, which is one of my goals, I was afraid that nobody would want to help me because I'm competition, but as time went on, I'm realizing more and more that people actually genuinely want to help me be who I want to be. And that's actually a brand new feeling for me. I've never felt that before.
It's a wonderful thing.
It really is. So I'm really hoping that keeps up.
The other thing I was going to say,
a
piece of advice, just go for it, because you're never going to be ready and there's never going to be a right time. Just do it.
Yeah. And, a good kind of mantra to take something like that is, even if you're only doing a little bit a day, which is actually what I'm doing to get to even this far, just a half an hour when you wake up, a half an hour before you go to sleep, anything to get that snowball rolling really makes it. I got to tell you, for 2 years, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. So now it's the right time. I mean,
exactly.
The time is now. Something to look into would be a book called The Compound Effect. Unfortunately, I can't remember the author of that right now, but that actually goes right into these little things turning into one big thing later on, just having those things come together. So you might want to think about that.
If you wouldn't mind, maybe shoot that to me in the messenger on Facebook, so that way because I'm not going to remember it.
No, that's okay. What I'm going to do is any kind of help that's mentioned between you and me, like the group that you talked about just a second ago, I'm actually going to put on a website where I put show notes, and we'll put links to everything that we talk about. Okay, but I'll still shoot you that.
Thank you.
Okay. So here's an interesting question, and I actually came across this question just by chance. But let's say, for example, I wanted to hire your services, because goodness knows I need somebody to help me organize my stuff. But I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at 2 other people as well too, doing the exact same thing you do, that are offering the same amount of money and that kind of thing. So what I'd like to know is, how would you set yourself apart between everybody else?
Okay, so in my mind, I'm hoping that my educational background will help set me apart. I have a bachelor's degree of architecture. I have been working in the architectural field for almost 20 years, and I worked part-time, went to school part-time, or excuse me, I worked full-time and went to school part-time. So I've actually been learning. My degree obviously took me longer than a typical 4-year degree because of that. Right. And also you are continuing, even outside, since I've graduated, you're continuously learning, in the field, at your job, and with different training sessions that you have. So I've been learning for over 20 years. And I work with configuring spaces. Granted, they're, 1,200 to 50,000 square feet spaces. It's still configuring spaces and finding out what works for that space. And I feel, organizing is space planning, but just in a different format.
Right. Space is space, whether big or small, is still space.
And it's still finding out what that, client needs, what works best for them, because every space is different, every person's different, every project's different. Right. And then, not for nothing, I feel that you need to be able to, I consider myself a optimistic person. I hope for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst. But you need to be able to, whoever the person, whoever's chosen, if it's me or somebody else, you need to be able to interact with your potential client. You need to be open and understanding of where they're coming from, and be able to have a good repertoire with the person, I think.
Yeah, having that connection with somebody, especially someone that might hire you, is really, really important. So I commend you for that. That's actually, I'd hire you in a second over anybody else at this point.
Thank you.
So I'm going to move on to another question now. And I heard this question actually on another podcast, and I thought it was a fantastic one. So I'm going to steal it. What is one question you wish I asked you right now?
Probably, do you wish you would have done this sooner?
Okay, so
like actually joining the biz, because like I said earlier, don't hesitate, just do it, because you're never going to be ready. So I guess that would be that question.
That would be that question. That actually gets into something I heard. It was as a proverb that I came across, is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the second best time to plant a tree is today.
Right now.
There you go, right now, exactly. Also, another one that I always come across, especially in this particular instance, we're talking about doing this now. I have my own mantra, but I stole it from he was 6, he's 14 now, but it was something he said, and the kid is just amazingly smart. And he said, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. And he's actually carried that with him all through junior high school, all through high school. And it really is. And he's the only one I've ever heard say anything close to that. So I'm going to give him the props for that one for sure. So yeah, that's all about doing it now. So
absolutely.
All right. So do you have a goal for yourself in the next 6 months? In 6 months, where do you see yourself?
Well, I hope a lot of things in 6 months. I guess I hope to grow my social media presence, reach more people, obviously. My website, as I mentioned, I'm new, so my website's just getting started. The family member that's helping me, she's DLO consulting. She does websites. So that's actually part of the thing that helped get me started. Is I was like, hey, Danielle, I'll do some organizing for you if you help me with the website. So that's where we're at. So she's actually in the process of helping me with my website, which is looking pretty darn good. I'm very pleased with it and excited.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope that, what's that?
Is the website up now?
It is. It used to say under construction. However, I think she did take that down, because now we're smoothing out, odds and ends. She has it up. I've looked at it. I made a couple comments or questions, and she's going to be tweaking those items. But one thing that's not on there yet that I hope to do is get a blog running for it. So in 6 months, my hope is to have that up and to blog at least once a week or twice a month. I'm not sure yet because I need to figure out, but to have some blogging in there, have some articles, to have some information. Yeah, so I have to put that into my schedule. And then, well, as I mentioned, also I've done bartering work. I've done bartering for friends, but I'm hoping in 6 months that, with all this blogging and social media explosion that's going to happen, I hope at least maybe have 2 new clients, people that I don't know, people that have found me through my website, through my social media, through the little magnet I just got for my car.
What was that?
Something that through the little magnet that I just bought for my car.
Oh,
I got a magnet that says architecture organized.
I'm totally getting one of those. My little dude right here, he's going to be on it for big as life, and we'll have all the stuff on there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I ordered.
For those of you who can't see that are listening to the podcast, but are actually looking on my YouTube channel, she has a black pen with her name and all the stuff right on there. Oh, that's great.
I'm all excited. I got that. I got business cards, and then I got that magnet for my car. So either way, though, but that is my hope, is to have at least 2 new people who have reached out to me who I've never met, that I can help them.
All right. That's actually another one of the reasons why I put this podcast / YouTube channel together. That way, Angie actually has another set of opportunities for somebody to contact her. So all right. So Angie, what I'm going to do is I'd like to actually get your contact information now. As far as, if you want to put out the website right now, you can, or if you want to say your email, this is your time to shine. This is your time to actually do your advertising. So ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go. I have a couple things. So I have a new website that, like I said, is in progress, www.architecturallyorganized.com. And you can find me, again, Architecturally Organized, at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or at gmail.com for emails. And then, I don't know, am I allowed to say the phone number also?
You're absolutely allowed to, as long as you don't mind saying it, because it's going to be actually posted like on YouTube and kind of thing. So it's completely up to you. I would probably just stick with the.
Take that out. You'll edit this part out, right?
No, I do very little editing when it comes to the YouTube channel. So.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, we'll leave that out. They'll be able to find it through the other things anyways. So they can, if they want the number to contact, they can find it in another way.
Yeah, they could find your official business phone number.
Yes.
On the website there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do with you now, Angie. We will be following up with you in the next 6 months. 6 months. I want to see 2 brand new clients. Yes. Fingers crossed. And I want to see at least 2 blog entries every month in the 6 months. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. 12. So I want to see 12 logins on your brand spanking new blog that you're putting together. Okay. So we're going to do 6 months from today. So I will be contacting you again 6 months from today to see how you're doing. Okay. All right, everybody, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank Angie for coming out today and letting us talk to her, and hopefully we learned something today. That's kind of the thing here, is we want to learn from each other. We want to help each other out. We want to be everything we need to be for each other and hold each other accountable for what we're doing. So if you'd like to follow me, you could find me on Facebook, Scoob on Twitter as hashtag I am Scoob. I'd find a couple ways to do it. And if you are actually an entrepreneur that is brand spanking new, less than a year, please contact me. You could email me at pianotiehentertainment@gmail.com and put in just basically what you do and how long you've been doing it for. Please make sure it's under a year. It's very important that I help brand new people. Okay. All right. And thank you so much for coming out. You take care. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Bye-bye now.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end here. Angie was actually great to talk to. She had a lot of great information about becoming an organizer and her journey and how she actually came about becoming a professional organizer. I like the fact that she took action right away when she decided on the exact date that she would start becoming an entrepreneur. And then right away, she went into the internet to find NAPO. And that was her first real step into the organizing career and finding things out for herself. I also like the fact that family was a big influence for her, and she has a lot of family members that are getting together behind her to help her build her website and be her biggest advertisements and word of mouth kind of thing. And that's always important to have family to be able to do that for you, to have that kind of support if you can actually get it. She has some great 6-month goals for herself. So I'm really hoping in the next 6 months we could follow up with her and see if she's actually reached those goals, put those blog posts in there like we talked about, and have 2 organic clients that she actually got through all her hard work. So if you want to contact Angie and maybe enlist her abilities in organization, we'll have all her contact information in the show notes below. And if you want to go to my website, which is uepodcast.net, and find her information there too, you're more than welcome to do that. Now, my question is, do you have any 6-month goals for yourself? Put in the comments your 6-month goal for your business that you're just getting started. Now, if you do that, I will pick 5 random people and read their goals on my next show. That way we could kind of hold all ourselves accountable for what we're actually doing and trying to accomplish. So make sure that you put those comments below. Let me know exactly what your 6-month goals are, and we'll go ahead and mention you and your goals on the next show. So another thing I'm going to talk about here is, if you've listened to my podcast at all, you know that I'm actually doing a kind of a side project for myself with Chris Brogan. Chris Brogan is a very famous entrepreneur, writer, and podcaster. And I'm really kind of just following this along here. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what I'm doing with Chris Brogan, go back to my podcast, take a listen all the way through to the very end, and I have a lot of things going on there. And I'm going to go ahead and on my next few shows explain to you exactly what I'm doing a little bit more in detail. So at this point, I just want to say thank you once again for watching all the way through. And always remember, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. Thank you, everybody. Bye.